not a great choice, but you could use it. Way number 2, graphing. I go with kids. Way number 2, you can graph it. Still not my favorite. Way number 3, substitution. I like substitution as long as a letter is by itself. And way number 4 is called elimination. I refer to it as the add-subtract method. So here's what. There is no variable that is nicely all by itself, so we're going to use elimination. And the way you do it for me, I teach it as a checklist, and you're going to want to watch this. There are 4 things you need to do, and if these 4 things work, the problem is super easy. Are you ready? We're going to write it down on the back with your little stars. Here we go, our checklist. In order to use elimination, 3 things have to happen. Number 1, everything must line up. And you're thinking, what the hell are you talking about, Mrs. T? And let me tell you what I mean by that. It means the X's have to be lined up. And the Y's have to be lined up. And really importantly, the equal signs have to be lined up. Kids miss that all the time. And finally, the regular numbers have to be lined up. Okay? We need that to happen for the magic to occur. So if that happens, so what I'll do when you have a problem, you'll, Miss T, I need help on number 3. I'll be like, are they lined up? And if they are, you would give yourself a little check mark and say, yes, in this example, they are all lined up. Yay. The second thing that has to happen is where it gets a little weird. You have 2 variables. You have X's and you have Y's. On one set of them, just one set, and it doesn't matter which ones, X's or Y's, they must have the same number, coefficient, in the front. So step 2 is, does one pair have same number in front? I'm sorry, that starts looking like 4th grade writing. In front. So I'm looking at this guy. That's a 2 and that's a 1. That is not the same number. But I look at this guy. He's a 3 and he's a 3. That is the same number. That meets my check. Yay. Hold on. I know where you're going. The third thing that has to happen is not only do they have to be the same number, they have to have one more thing going for them. Those numbers have to have opposite signs. Does that pair have opposite signs? And in this case, take a look. I got a negative, I got a positive. Yay, I check. And if those 3 things happen, then we get to do a little gypsy magic and just add the equations. And watch what happens. You guys are going to think, oh, I remember this. Add the equations. So watch what I'm going to do. I got my 3 things met, my 3 conditions. I draw a line, I put a plus sign, and I add. 2 plus 1 is 3x. Negative 3x and positive 3x goes away. Get it? Elimination. 14 and negative 11 is 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. Done. Done.
How do you plug that in?
We're going to do that right this second. Yes.
Can you only do that with Y's, or can it be X's too?
Anything. You can make either of them match, right? So the next one will be that. So here's the deal. A lot of kids are like, why don't we do this every time instead of substitution? And here's why. We're going to plug it in. It's a little more work on this method. It's not the end of the world. You're going to take that one and you're going to plug it into either one of these equations. It doesn't matter. If you're like me, I'm going to do the bottom equation because it looks smaller and easier, but it's not the end of the world. So let me erase all this so I have room. I'm gonna take that 1, I'm gonna plug them in right there. 1 plus 3y equals negative 11. Move the 1 over because I'm skipping steps now because you guys are pros. Y equals negative 12. Divide by 3, divide by 3. I get negative 4. Yay! Is that easy? That's not bad, huh? Okay. Try number 2 on your own, and I will come around and talk to you about it. So here it is right here. Make sure you go through your checklist. Are they lined up? Yes. Do I have a pair with the same number in front? I do, the X's. Do they have opposite signs, that pair? Yes, they do. Add it up. Do a little gypsy magic there. No, and 11, 4, 5, 11. No, that's okay. They're right here. Oh, just plug it back in, just like you did last time.
Did you do it? Okay. Yeah, I did it right. No.
Tachi is too hard to draw. Jason, Tachi is too hard to draw. Fucking, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure this
Can Tachi use
Okay, you guys ready? Okay.
Huh? No. I'm just gonna be alone. Oh, okay. Literally. Okay. For what? You know what we're talking about? Oh, okay. I'll be there anyway.
Why?
I don't want to waste some money.
How much does it cost?
$40 maybe for a wristband?
40 bucks?
Why are you guys like surprised?
I thought it was like 25 or something.
Because that's
Might be.
expensive.
I don't know. It's 20. 30.
Why 11? I think make it 10 or 15. I would pay 15.
Did we end up with y equals 1? 1? Y equals 1? Yeah?
Yes.
And I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to say, if I plug it in, la la la, I'm going to plug in right here. 4x plus
My
9
friend's obsessed
equals
with anime. I
5.
don't get it.
4x equals negative 4. X equals, and you get negative 1?
yeah.
Okay,
You're weird.
next example. We're going to step up our game, little lobsters. Hey, let's go through our checklist. Checklist 1. Are they lined up? Yes. do I have a pair, just one pair, with the same coefficient, the same number in front? Yes. Yes, it is the Y's. Do they have opposite signs? No. So, I want you to think about this. By the way, the
That's-
lottery tonight, or on Saturday, up to $500 million.
Well, that's not that much.
So, hey, you know what? 250 million, literally I'd be okay with.
Stupid taxes.
Taxes. And it's that much
I'd rather just not.
in an annuity, meaning if they paid it a little at a time, if you want it all at once, you don't get as much. But you know what? I'll take it all, baby.
If you want like $1 million.
Okay, so imagine
No, you get
on
like a couple
Monday,
in a week, right?
I come in after winning the lottery, not a surprise because I will. And I have decided I'm going to give each of you $100,000 to go to college with. Because really, genuinely, it won't even touch my money if I have
why
$2
would you
million.
show up?
So I come
She
in
actually
because
does
I want to
that.
give it to you and see your pretty faces. So I got checks for everyone, and they're all signed, ready to go. And I walk into the door, and I hand them all to Jen. Is that okay?
Nah, I don't trust her.
Well, it would be okay for her until you all beat her up and take the money, right?
Yeah.
So here's the deal. The reason I tell you this is this. I need to force this guy to have opposite signs. Everyone watching. So I am going to make this guy opposite.
That's been $1 million on that.
But the deal is this. Because I want them I want them to disappear. But the deal is this. If I give it to one guy, I gotta change the entire line. So this guy's like, well, you changed him, you gotta change me. Fine, I'll change you. And this guy's like, well, you changed those two guys, you gotta change me. Fine, I'll change you. If you change one, if I'm bringing money to one, I bring it to everyone. Now let me ask you this. Am I giving Miss Landry's class money? No, I'm not. So I don't have to change the top guy.
Yeah,
I just
they're
gotta
losers.
change, if I change one guy in an equation, what keeps it balanced is changing every guy, right? So now, are they lined up? Yes. Do they have matchers? Yes. Are they opposite signs? Yes. Here we go. 6x, -12. That equals -2.
But why would you even come in? I would hire a lawyer and go dark.
Honestly, I would not tell anyone for 6 months.
Yeah.
6 weeks?
6 months.
Why 6 months?
Well, this sounds terrible because I have thought about this. Pause it for just a hot minute. One.